Hey YouTube, it's Callie. This is our second video on Apple's fall announcement series. And here we are giving an overview of all four of the announced iPhone 12 models. We're trying to get this out because pre-orders start tomorrow on a couple of the models, but not all of them. So we'll go over the iPhone 12 models as well as how they're positioned relative to the other iPhones Apple will continue to sell in their lineup. If you caught my live stream, you know that the iPhone 12 announcement was on Tuesday. They also announced the HomePod Mini, which you can see here. But rest assured, this was definitely an iPhone event. This event usually lands in September, as it has since 2012. 2011 was the last time the iPhone was a summer announcement at WWDC, Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference. Fun bit of history, the iPod was the shining light in Apple's lineup and shared the coveted fall back-to-school time slot in October with the iPad. In 2012, Apple added the September announcement to its calendar for the iPhone to get a fall release and kept the October event for the iPad and the Mac. So this year, COVID-19 messes with everything and held up Apple's manufacturing, forcing Apple to announce in July at their quarterly earnings call that the iPhone was not going to be ready by September. And since Apple likes to pre-order and ship very quickly after announcements, and we know that other products are in the pipeline, this led to speculation that the October event would include the new Mac with Apple Silicon and the Apple TV in addition to the new iPhone. Well, those speculations have not come to fruition, and this announcement stayed true to its roots and focused squarely on the iPhone 12. So the main event was announcing the new iPhones. They announced 4 iPhones for the iPhone 12 lineup: the Mini, the Regular, the Pro, and the Pro Max. Combined with the iPhone SE, iPhone R, and the iPhone 11, they have 7 price points from $400 to $1,000. And you can configure each phone so that it nearly reaches the next level above it, based on how much storage you want on board. Make sure to watch my next video on iPhone price structures and what you can get at each tier. The breakdown includes the screen technology, the size of the screen, a brief camera overview, as an in-depth video on the iPhone 12 camera offerings will be in another video. All of the iPhone 12 models offer the newest A14 Bionic system on a chip, SoC. This chip appears to be the first in a new generation of increased productivity. In the iPhone 12, because of heat and power considerations, it looks to be an improvement, but not world-shattering. In fact, this time, Apple didn't even compare the speed of this chip to the last generation like they usually do. So the generation-on-generation improvements are probably not as great, as the A13 seems to have been an excellent chip. In fact, even in the iPad Air announcement, they compared the A14 to the A12, 2 generations previous. They could get away with that because they're comparing it to the previous iPad Air, and the previous iPad Air had the A12. But that we haven't seen any comparisons between the A13 and the A14 chips tells me that there wasn't like a doubling between the two. They would have touted any major jump like they do every year. I would expect better gains from the upcoming iPad Air and a very similar chip on the new Silicon Mac, which I would expect to have fans and benefit from active cooling. This would explain why the last iPad Air was designed with the detached fan and heatsink. It was designed to be on a smaller chipset with better thermals than Intel was able to provide, but I digress. On the iPhone, expect the usual types of improvement from the previous generation. You could go back to the A12 and probably not really notice any performance difference, which is probably why Apple is still selling the iPhone XR, which has the same A12 processor. I often say not to buy phones with chips that are 2 or 3 years old because of longevity. However, these phones start at less than half the price of the current Pro models. The price differential is significant enough to warrant the purchase of the lower tier iPhones. Performance will not be a real issue. Phones over the last few years last much longer than they did in the early days. My iPhone X is still going strong. Load times for the game War Robots takes a little bit longer, but the gameplay is still fluid. No. It will be the design or the camera more than anything else that will influence your decision to spend the extra money on a higher tier iPhone. And those are what we're going to cover in the upcoming videos, so stay tuned. Important note, Apple is no longer including headphones or a power adapter in the box for the iPhone 12. They claim it is for environmental reasons and because people already have multiple power adapters. But the cable they provide in the box is a USB-C to Lightning cable. All of the power adapters for previous iPhone owners and most Android owners who haven't upgraded in the last couple of years have USB-A power bricks. So the wall wart you already own will probably not work with the power cable they have provided you, which means you will either need to purchase a new cable or purchase a new power brick. If you already have an iPhone cable, it will still work with the new iPhone. Anyone else? You're out of luck. As I said, headphones are not included in the box. If you already have wireless headphones, those will work. If you do not, and this is your first iPhone, then you will either need to purchase a 3.5mm headset adapter or Lightning compatible headphones. Most people in the tech space have moved over to wireless headphones, but this is not true for most people. And while Apple has a wider adoption rate for wireless headphones than Android, it's still not even true for most iPhone owners. So just be aware that this goes for all iPhone 12 models, and the extra cost if you need these accessories, which Apple will gladly sell you. Alright, so that was the quick overview for the iPhone 12s. I'm working on getting the videos for the iPhone prices and the camera arrangements for all the phones in Apple's lineup. So stick around, be sure to check out our other videos over at the California Perspective, and we'll catch you later. For the iPhone 12s.